Hello, 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 welcome back to another episode of Let's Play XIV. Let me just get my comments rolling here. Okay. Oh no, my buddy Android's gone. Whoops. Who's on in the free company? Barty Blartface, he's a cool guy. He's cool, dude. Taylor's cool. These are just the people that have talked to me, I guess. Anyway, what the hell am I supposed to be doing here? Defeat Imperial soldiers. Over in this area? Sounds like BS. I'm coming through. Actually, you know what? Well, no. Okay, let's get into character. Cohort. Imperial soldiers I gotta take out. Yeah, tell him to kick his ass. Oh wow, this is jack shit. Oh, he's attacking Tenma. Fuck your ass, motherfucker. Oh yeah, I should probably put on the main event here. Okay, did I not even have to kill that guy? Magitech Vanguard? I thought that's what that thing was. Wow. I got one. No, don't do that. These guys are super easy. Guess my gear is pretty awesome. One left, and there was one. Send her doing her job, you do yours. Hey Google, set volume to 82%. Hey Google, set volume to 95%. I guess that's loud enough, alright? Oh, I still have to take another Vanguard. I thought I just killed one. Maybe my internet's fucking up. Again.
The original quest involved retrieving 4 orbs. The only crystal mentioned in the English version was the wizard Montoya's eye. The plot is
Let me guess, this is the beginning of a raid, and that guy's just chilling here waiting to get it started.
This led them to Lich in the Cavern of Earth, Harry the Gurgu Volcano, Kraken in the Siege Ride, and Tiamat high above the Mirage Tower and the floating Sky Tower. But defeating these enemies only revealed a greater threat. They had collectively created the demon Chaos out of the corpse of Garland, the first boss to face, and sent it back in time. After your team rewound the clock to face him, you learn that Chaos is the one responsible
For fiends!
creating a cataclysmic and confusing paradox. Once Chaos was crushed, the world righted itself, and the heroes returned home. The story was epic for its time. Far from the gripping, dramatized narrative the series would eventually become known for. Instead, the focus was more on creating a deep, fulfilling, and highly customizable RPG gaming experience. You could name your characters, but with only 4 spaces available, you were essentially playing out one of 6 different archetypes. White Mage, Black Mage, Red Mage, Thief, Fighter, which later became Warrior, and Black Belt, which later became Monk, allowing for 30 possible group combinations. Your characters battled for money and experience, powering up to a max level of 50. After a trip through the Castle of Ordeals and a visit to Dragon King Bahamut, players could graduate their characters to superior jobs, including White Wizard, Black Wizard, Red Wizard, Ninja, Knight.
He fell asleep in the middle of a speech.
Optional class upgrades were a first for the genre, and allowed the use of advanced spells and items.
I must be talking about that plan that I paid very little attention to because it was too complicated.
Were one-on-one, but in Final Fantasy, you could unexpectedly face off against up to 9 various...
Railway sounds like a train mission. That's
You
BS.
accidentally stumbled across a band of wily imps, or intentionally stepped forward to retrieve the missing treasure. Most RPGs displayed their combat engine in first person, but Final Fantasy was the first game to show the heroes on the right side of the screen opposite their opponents on the left. That way you could visit attacking crew on both sides. Primitive as they may appear now, Final Fantasy's battle animations were some of the most advanced graphical effects gamers had ever seen before. There were 8 levels of either black or white magic to learn, with 4 spells available within each. Mages could only learn 3 spells per level, forcing you to choose carefully. In an awkward time before mana or magic points, spells could only be cast if they had charges available. There were no ethers or elixirs, and only houses and inns restored charges. To see the world, players had to traverse an overworld map of 3 large continents, stopping to explore a multi-level dungeon, castle, cave, or rest at a friendly town's inn and shop at its stores. The planet-wide expedition became easier to manage Once your party came in control.
Shit, is that the part of the plan we're on? I gotta go fight Ultimate Weapon now?
The flying machine granted you complete access to the map without random enemy encounters, provided you could find suitable terrain to land on. The canoe and boat were both open to surprise attacks, but holding A and pressing B several times while out in the open sea started a 15-block minigame that rewarded you with a limited cash.
To battle!
Had an extensive musical score for its day, with almost 20 different tracks playing out over the course of the game. Several of these would go on to become mainstays in the series, including the title screen arpeggio, the victory fanfare at the end of each battle, and the opening theme, which would evolve into an anthem for the entire franchise.
Oh, that means a lot, Minfilia. Thank you.
Final Fantasy was not an easy game. You could only save in inns or by using houses, and doing so
Foilja!
fallen allies could only be revived with the White Mage lifestyle.
For Castleton!
Clinics, which were cross-shaped churches in the Japanese version. Enemies didn't drop items, and some of the later spells became insanely expensive. And then there were ineffective attacks, meaning if one of your party members killed an enemy, or the others got a chance to take a shot at him, their moves, or even their magical charges would be wasted. The monsters would also jump from being a walk in the park to a virtually impossible death.
Ooh, 7 bad boy Mog tokens and 200 of those poetics. Halligan Tombstone.
Fans were willing to put up with the punishment though, as Final Fantasy became one of the most popular RPGs of the 80s, and one of the most successful titles on the Famicom and Nintendo Entertainment System. It planted a seed that flourished into a lucrative series, one that as of last year had sold more than 68 million units worldwide. Final Fantasy has been repurposed for other consoles at least 7 times, more than any other role-playing game. These include the American port in 1990 and upgrades for the MSX, WonderSwan Color, PlayStation 1, Game Boy Advance, mobile phones in Japan, and last month, the PlayStation Portable, giving credence to Sakaguchi's proof that their fantasy was anything but final. Join us next Sunday, the second chapter in our 13-part Final Fantasy retrospective. In Part 2, we'll begin our journey down an unbelievably long list of RPG titles, starting with the 2 immediate sequels that wouldn't cross the Pacific until after the end of the century. One initiated a controversial leveling system, and the other you probably just played on the DS for the first time.
I don't know why I'm opening up this can of worms, but I'm going to. Okay, we got 4 DPS.
The growing popularity of the first Final Fantasy helped the originally unscheduled second installment arrive on Japanese store shelves 364 days later. Since Final Fantasy I was never intended to be a smash hit, its story didn't lend itself to a sequel. Because of this, Square felt the freedom to take numerous aspects of the first game in a completely new direction. Began on December 7th, 1988. Sakaguchi and Uematsu on board, as well as several members of the original development. The Emperor of Palamisi, who would attack their hometown of Fynn and kill their parents. While there was no prophecy that said they were destined to destroy evil and save their world, the heroes eventually became a humble warrior, a cautious mage, a simple-minded monk, and a morally conflicted dark knight. But unlike Final Fantasy I, there was no opportunity to upgrade these classes. For the first time, they were ingrained in their characters. They also didn't level up like their predecessors. Instead, the individual attributes of each character leveled up, including hit points, magic power, stamina, strength, spirit, agility, intelligence, and evasion. These categories would grow stronger the more they were used or needed, and the same was true for weapons as well. Focusing on a character's melee or magical abilities would cause the opposite to be adversely affected, forcing players to choose.
Okay, yeah, H.C. Bailey's doing this game right now.
Designed to create a more realistic progression formula based on cause and effect, and give the player more control over what piece of armor, type of weapon, or brand of magic they wanted to increase in power. However, it opened up several opportunities to cheat the system, build up your characters much faster than intended. When you canceled the command you previously assigned to one of your battling sprites, the performance enhancement would still be registered. And just because you got more points for getting hit by the enemy, that didn't mean that your own party members couldn't fulfill that role as well. Careful and patient players could level up their party significantly in just one battle by attacking one another.
I'm going to take this time to make some cigarettes.
This housed current and max HP can now be raised well over 900. Final Fantasy II also fashioned a new style of questing and story progression, which involved memorizing key terms from NPC dialogue that would be brought up over conversation. It was a process that involved lots of unpredictable inspections and time-consuming bouts of trial and error going through the conversation. Mechanical and heavily scripted as it may have been, this new way of playing introduced a higher degree of hands-on interactivity that allowed players to be socially immersed in the game's world. The fresh but flawed experience method and question-answer plot progression were just two of many additions to the series. While these did return in later games, the following developments became standard within the franchise. Final Fantasy II was the first time you could fight with less than 4 members of your party, and have characters come and go throughout the story, including the White Wizard Minwu, the passive General Gordon, the family man / pugilist Joseph, the spunky pirate Leela, and the wyvern-wielding Ricard, the last Dragoon. Boat and airship rides began on a predetermined path, until you were able to control each craft by yourself, and you were no longer required to dock boats at harbors to reach the mainland. Added to the fleet in the second game was the Snowmobile, a three-wheeled sailing vessel that allowed you to cross an epic mass of ice. If they were lucky enough, players could stumble upon a stables housing a familiar Final Fantasy staple, the Chocobo. It was Final Fantasy II that introduced the world to these beasts of the game, and helped players cross the continent faster with 0 enemy encounters. And you couldn't get in an airship in 2 until you met Sid for the first time. Players would bump into this pilot.
Shit, I didn't get to make a cigarette, man. Oh, man.
Many times in the year.
Late party.
His namesake continued throughout the main series and beyond.
Full party, that's what I'm talking. That's what I thought.
And eventually gave you his pride and joy to use the region.
Okay, I'm gonna use this opportunity to stall the raid and make a cigarette. I'm an asshole. Big time asshole. Castro Meridianum.
In total, 6 good guys died before the story was over. The plot strangely mirrored that of Star Wars Episode 4, involving young heroes joining the rebellion. The Empire imposed its will using a giant metal ship with a distraught princess on the side.
Well, it looks like everybody's running around with their heads chopped off.
Final Fantasy II almost made its way to the States in 1990 under the subtitle Dark Shadow.
Oh, fuck.
But it was canceled due to development time and the release of the Super Nintendo. US audiences would have to wait until 2003 to play Final Fantasy II when it was reinvented, along with its predecessors for consoles, handhelds, and mobile phones around the world. Final Fantasy II was the first sequel in the industry not to feature any characters or locations from the game that preceded it. It turned the unexpected RPG series into a bona fide franchise, with Japanese gamers waiting for 16 months to play the next sequel. American gamers didn't get to play until this year. Fantasy III was released in Japan on April 27, 1990.
Wait for me.
By the team that created the series. It began with an earthquake opening up a hidden cavern on a floating island near the village of Earth. 4 orphaned youngsters disguised as Onion Knights left their guardian in search of the altered thing. Within it, they discovered the Wind Crystal.
The scene cannot be skipped, okay.
The crystal bestowed upon them jobs, a Final Fantasy tradition. Instead of choosing one class or having a story do it for you, FF3 lets you switch between multiple professions, including newcomers Archer, Scholar, Geomancer, Viking, Magic Knight, Bard, and Smith. All carry specific weapons and armor, and more were unlocked with each new crystal dispensed. Each job had its own special skill, and Final Fantasy III opened up a new space in your battle menu to include it. This gave thieves the ability to steal and gradually the opportunity to jump. No matter the job, they all leveled up the same way, as the experience points would return to this one. Two of the more
I almost took one out.
were Conjurer and Summoner. Both of them were able to bring forth magical teams for the first time in the series.
Looks like this thing's pretty much gonna get done for me. They played no role in the actual storyline, but their additional firepower was definitely low. Just as the second chapter was Silverman, the third forced the movement. Because they were battling bear monsters that guarded the retreats of the building. The movement would become a serious state, selling magic, fighting alongside the party, and even their online exploits. To lighten up the early game's inventory listing, said their bird runners were little too much strength to produce fat crystals, plump creatures that could swallow items and transport heavy loads across the map. A submarine and several new types of airships were introduced, including the Nautilus, Enterprise, and the Invincible, a warship that could be explored like a castle, complete with shops and private quarters. Sid helped you tour the skies once again, and even followed your party around the Sid,
world.
oh, you mentioned Sid, eh?
The forgetful warrior Desh hitched up with your crew after he gave you Miniman, the ability to shrink your entire party and enter several mouse-sized areas. The story placed the 4 orphaned heroes in an eternal struggle between the forces of light and darkness. When one was disrupted, the other would call on 4 warriors to reset the fragile equilibrium. Ages ago, foolish mortals attempted to absorb the power of light, calling forth dark warriors to fight back. The Gulgans, a circle of blind prophets, predicted that one day the reverse would occur, and these light warriors would hopefully restore the balance for good.
I guess I'm glad that I can take a little break and don't have to worry about them waiting on me. Everybody has to watch this, it looks like.
A hive mind of evil that aims to take the world off kilter while an unstoppable war ensues. Final Fantasy III was unfortunately shadowed by the release of 6 in America 4 years later. The 6th installment was renamed 3 as it was the 3rd Final Fantasy released in the US. This almost erased all knowledge in the States of the 3rd Famicom game, and meant we wouldn't get our hands on it until it was ported to the Nintendo DS 16.
Find the place and break things.
The 3rd Final Fantasy was a huge adventure, definitely the biggest RPG Square had made so far. It brought the most successful elements of the first 2 games together, and helped build a growing curiosity as the series would soon have to move ahead a generation. But before
Yeah, just like Star Wars, just as I would expect from this game. Holy shit, what the fuck?
Original Fantasy was released on the Nintendo Entertainment System in America, and a legion of English-speaking gamers boarded an airship ride into the future of roleplay. Join us next week for the 3rd installment in our 13-part Final Fantasy retrospective. In Part 3, we'll continue on to the next 2 games in the series that premiered the active time battle system and ability points, and began an unforgettable 16-bit trilogy on the Super Famicom.
Shit. Suck a dick, don't get healed.
For most Americans, so this is 16-bit adventure by fans like sort of the world. The arrived in Japan on November 11, 1990.
Shit, it's after me.
Dozens of lights on the screen, and each panel samples sound is so important. Background music from light, 1997, which allowed players to scale and rotate. It also supported 4 megabyte storage. So when you want to find some remote sensors, use 40 to 60 hours of gameplay into one plastic cartridge. Super versions of the NES and Famicom hit the market running thanks to their epic fan base and solid relationships.
Fuck you!
Sports fantasy in essence.
Running around like an asshole here.
Final Fantasy IV, released in Japan in 1991. For the first time, it also came out in America. It was renamed Final Fantasy II in the States, and with most U.S. gamers absent-mindedly skipping over 2 entries in the franchise, it was...
I'm following that guy.
4 was once again directed by Sakaguchi, designed by Amano, and composed by Uematsu.
Whoa, look at that crit, baby.
Final Fantasy IV had a unique protagonist, straying from the series' heavyweight to play massive versions on heroes with little to no combat experience. 4's heavily conflicted lead man was Tifa, a dark knight of the Kingdom of Baron and commander of the monarchy's airship fleet called the Red Wing. After questioning the king's request to attack innocent people in the search of foreign prisoners, Tifa was stripped of his rank and forced to reevaluate his decision. He was aided on his path to redemption by his Dragoon companion Kane.
This is like a... This is crazy. Fuck my life.
Final Fantasy IV removes the interchangeable John system to focus on the character, similar to the plot-driven party plot in Q2. Jobs were already assigned and oftentimes related to the plot. Spells and summons were now learned by level, through specific battle criteria or in accordance with the story. You never knew what crew you were going to end up with, but the arrangements were given a boost by allowing an extra character, making the battle line built for 5, for the first and only time. Telepathic hypnosis played a big factor in character creation. Once people were left behind, the warrior Golden took control of the Red Wings and the will of Kane. The karate master Yang also briefly fell victim to mind control, and both of your friends had to be smacked around before they eventually snapped out of it. These additional characters didn't just follow, they fought, and sometimes died alongside you. Your rank gained the abilities of Pella, the vengeful mage, Edward, the pensive bard, Hallam and Coram, a precocious pair of young mages, Edge, an impulsive prince, and Fusoya, a resident of the moon with many buried secrets to tell. Even the tinkerer Sid grabbed a club and finally took matters into his own hands. It's also worth noting that Rydia is one of the only characters in the entire franchise that goes through a physical transformation.
Nobody, I don't know if anybody knows what the fuck's going on here.
Resurfaced in the land of summons, where time moves faster. She dropped her ability to perform white magic, but gained several new spells, her full summoning potential, and a mature character spread. The fourth biggest technical influence on the rest of the series is the active time battle mode created by heroes. With it, adversaries don't wait patiently for players to interact. Instead, each enemy and character gets a turn every 2 seconds. With players
Okay, Crimson Blood Fallen. Okay, he's a tank.
The system made combat a bit lively, allowing for more engrossing gameplay. The battle screen added unique terrain layers and restored heroes and enemies. The environment, characters, monsters, and bosses all received group spells all animated in time. Smoke and fog is now characters. Square clearly proves that Final Fantasy IV would not have been done on the the adjustment color of the game. While previous fantasies typically had just a plain surface to explore, or had a underworld, your flying team is back to the steppers to help you get to the places. The lunar rail resurrected to help you reach the stars, and black silver fly all of the rural
Okay, we did it.
Final Fantasy IV is the first noticeable example of melodic subtlety and enduring themes that work with tragedy and faith. The theme of love has been taught to Japanese school children as part of their curriculum.
Look who it is.
Have appeared on several compilations.
Hey, maybe we got time to make another cigarette.
By numerous orchestras and metal bands. The story in 4 rekindled the 4-tier elemental structure.
See, you've disabled the generator. That leaves us, I don't know.
Mylon, Ignazo, Valvalis, and Rubicon.
It leaves us with your mama.
Was a god in the first game. Summons were also given peculiar names, as 4 first introduced Americans to the Avenged Masters. Shiva, Odin, and Bahamut kept their names throughout the series, but Americans first used Idris and Ramu as Jin and Indra.
You'll bring up the rear, eh? Rear Admiral style?
One of the towns in the war began a Final Fantasy tradition of names reappearing in later games. As Lucia, originally from Final Fantasy II, returns as a reference. 4 made several direct references to as well. It was as Soya refers to it as the Blue Planet. He explains that he and the rest of the
Some people are going that way, I'm going this way.
from a planet in between Mars and Jupiter. Soya also revealed that Golbez was not their ultimate enemy, as he was also being brainwashed by another Lunarian. Eventually, Demas revealed his true form. With the help of some well wishes from home, the Tooling Company found the strength to overcome the overgrowth. 4 was the first Final Fantasy and one of the first
I keep running out of my blast radius.
The first to link two heroes together romantically, a device of the Final Fantasy with inside plotline. These were raised regarding the spotting children. Even those little quirks are recalled with fond memories of that. The strange and graphics continually revised, 4 was ported on PlayStation, WonderSwan Color, and Game Boy Advance, and it's scheduled to be released in 3D on the Nintendo DS sometime before the end of 2007.
Holy shit, how many levels have I gained here? Oh boy. Magitech Colossus.
It was not an immediate whether it was because of Ford's international sales numbers, Nintendo's specific relationship with Square, or the time
Holy shit, he's after me. He's after me now.
Only released in Japan. Despite thousands of American users suddenly discovering the role-playing series, the 5th installment wouldn't make it to U.S. shores until the end of the decade. Final Fantasy V is released on November 6, 1992. The now infamous creator of Tetsuya Nomura was added to the release of Monster Hunter. Nomura would go on to design the characters for 7, 8, 10, and 2, and direct Advent Children. 5's opening broke the mold by having the 4 main characters meet each other for the very first time. Born to be a wanderer, hero Bart sees a meteor fall while camping out with his chocobo, Boko, and the two run to the side of the crash. There, they met Lemon, the Princess of Tycoon, and Gallon, one of the oldest central characters in any Final Fantasy, whose memory was recently knocked out of his mind.
Amy Brewhouse, like Amy Winehouse, I get it.
But this time, they directly affected the world around them, other than just threatening to destroy it. When the wind crystal shattered, the wind stopped blowing, making it nearly impossible to travel by sea and solo. The quest sent you in search of the whereabouts of King Tycoon, the identity of Gala, behind it. 5 returned to the multiple job structure.
There's City Boy.
Also created by ability points for
Oh shit.
levels of jobs and characters separately. When each new level was reached, you got a new ability. You could then assign one sub-ability to another job. This was the series' first attempt at multi-class. The brand new classes include Brewmage, Berserker, Sorcerer, Time Mage, Trainer, Samurai, Dancer, Chemist, and Mime created even more advanced abilities that would reappear in seasons to come.
Shit, where do I gotta go? Over this way? Maybe I don't want to be right next to this guy.
There were a total of 110 different copies. Characters were different.
Oops, no, do this. One of XIV's enemies killed him in his first Final Fantasy campaign fight. He returned to his home world. Yeah, we did it!
Gallop was the first long-term party member to die. The loss was a shock, considering you were well over halfway through the story, but all your hard work spent honing his abilities didn't go to waste. Gallop transferred all he knew to Trial, and she filled his space with hours. A visit to the Colonel Sadie Guild revealed the existence of 12 legendary weapons, different items destined for the job of the creation. So, the newly assembled foursome crossed into the rift and faced XIV right as he merged with the board itself. For the first time, there were multiple endings triggered by whoever was or wasn't standing in your party when XIV's final form was defeated. Final Fantasy V was supposed to be Final Fantasy III in America, but the
Damn Marquez. Marquise, or I don't know how the fuck to say that.
But plans for that project also fell through. Even a third attempt was launched and crushed to bring 5 to PCs by developer Top Dog Software. These failed attempts aggravated gamers so much, 5 became one of the first titles to receive a fan translation, and until 1998, they were the only ones who could play it. Eventually 5 re-emerged on the PlayStation and Game Boy Advance with updated cinemas and new jobs to try on. It was then that American gamers could finally experience the intricate job system that would leave undeniable traces on the rest of the franchise. Join us next week as we celebrate 6 generations of sprite-based storytelling. We'll look back at the fascinating evolution of these pixel-perfect heroes that continually elevated the bit role-playing era to new heights, and thoroughly examine one of the finest stories the series has ever told.
Yeah, these things, they're good. They're killing this shit before I can even. Maybe I don't want to draw aggro. I don't know. With my impressive magic power. Big time threat over here.
How do you get it something like this? How can a character with barely enough room to blink do the most? From the tight restrictions on how many sprites could fill the screen, to how much text could fit in each blue rectangular bubble, there were multiple challenges Square was faced with when developing the first 6 Final Fantasies. The original Famicom battle sprites were 26 pixels, had only 4 different colors to compose those blocky licenses, and 6
what are we doing here, guys?
Famicom characters were significantly smaller, but flaunted 11 different colors that drastically increased their individual wardrobe options, and performed up to 40 unique frames of animation, conveying feelings of sadness, out, pride, In Final Fantasy I, characters would roam aimlessly around each town or stand and wait for you to engage them in conversation.
Okay, I gotta make a drink here.
In Final Fantasy II, characters began to walk along scripted paths, oftentimes when entering or exiting the road. This is one of the first clear examples of Square trying out comical sprite choreography. These scenarios would become much more elaborate, often involving the tiny actors jumping and throwing themselves around, and the pulse of searching to communicate those sprites.
Shit. Bombs are getting dropped everywhere. Oh, don't attack that guy. Oh, shit. Hey, I have one of those.
Final Fantasy VI was released in Japan on April 2nd, 1994, and in America...
Oh, because she knows my name.
Final Fantasy III, and was the last title to be renumbered as it crossed shores. Yoshitaka Amano continued his work as the series character designer, and Nobuo Uematsu wrote his most extensive story yet for the sixth installment. For the first time, Hironobu Uematsu to develop the concept. His former duties were split between series innovator Hironobu designer and writer
I'm just gonna go over here in this little corner here. Oh fuck, oh fuck. Ooh, there we go. Now I can get my black Chocobo barding. Or black mage barding. I don't know what I should be doing here. Right now I feel like I could take on the whole empire. Booyakasha. Oh no. Now what?
Split up your available forces into 3 parts and command them all simultaneously against several meandering enemies. If one of them got past you to your end zone of the battlefield, the skirmish would be lost. In 2 certain dungeons, including the one that leads to the finale, you had to direct separate groups working back and forth to assist one another. And at one pivotal junction, the story split you into 3 teams with alternate destinations. You got to choose your adventure.
Ritalin was a joke. A Titan or a Titan or I don't know what the fuck you say his name.
A gambler and airship pilot, Cyan, a tortured warrior, Gao, a lost trail child, Strago, an elder mage knight, Realm, his rambunctious granddaughter, and Shadow, a ninja with a foggy past that never completely revealed. Each character had its own signature talent and piece of plot. Edgar used tools. Sabin performed Street Fighter-style button mashes called blitzes. Celis wielded a lunar blade that absorbed controlled balance. Cyan counted upwards through different sword skills. Gao imitated monsters. Setzer pulled a lever.
Sabin suplex trains.
At least one segment of fragments from each of the characters.
Game?
Some of them were more thought-provoking and heartbreaking than the events that made us finish. The other person was trying to close the battle inside the game and drop the next party.
Shit. I'm the juggernaut, bitch. Oh shit, I'm getting gangbanged over here. Let's just run away. Oh fuck, they're following me.
Kefka was not a supernatural being or the collected sum of all things, or a mind-warping god.
Fuck you. They're like, stop, tell that fucking Cat Cochran to stop running around like an asshole. I just don't want to die. I'm gonna trust that they'll heal me. I'm just gonna, there we go. There we go. Oh fuck. No, fuck my life. Fuck. Oh, we did it! I just ran around like an asshole, basically, and yep, we beat you. We all, as a team, it was teamwork.
With Sid working for the Empire, the high roller Setzer allowed you to borrow. When that craft crashed and burned, he dug out another.
What? I'm level 55 now? And is that the end of the damn thing? Mega Mage, you kept me alive, thank you.
Instead of being stuck in one altitude before traveling four directions, you had 360 degrees of movement, along with the ability to climb and dive. A brand new mini-map in the lower right kept you from getting lost, which was easy to do with the extreme speed of the craft. This new beveled angle was also applied to choker lower, which showed your character on your back from a lower perspective.
Did I get anything for that? Oh yeah, I got some tombs. Tombstones of Law, those are nice to have. Excuse my juicy belches. Carlian Steel Joint. Okay, I've got this. Oh, I got all this stuff from questing.
She rallied the returners until they were forced to stop Kefka from disturbing three statues that created magic itself. itself.
Okay, I got all this stuff from other things. Okay.
Forced to flee the unnatural floating island, they boarded their airship.
Oh boy.
The entire army
That wasn't even the finale of A Realm Reborn. We still have to take an ultimate weapon. Okay, I'm level 52, but it said I could get the next job quest, which is strange.
At SIGGRAPH in 1995, Locke, Terra, and Shadow made a command performance in a 3D minigame created by Square, using prototype Nintendo 64 workstations and silicon graphics. The technical demonstration was completely playable, with patterns made by a computer mouse initiating attack commands. It served to teach Square's artists how to render sprites in 3D, and show the eager public what they had in store for the first 3D Final Fantasy. FF6 was also ported to the PlayStation in 1999 and the Game Boy Advance in early 2007. Final Fantasy VI was an extraordinary way for the series to bow out of the second dimension. Its artfully crafted storyline and meaningful characters made the final chapter in the Nintendo saga feel as if all the other adventures had been building up to its creation. Its 20-minute ending, one of the longest on the platform, and as the last page in his book was turned, it was clear that 6 would be one tough fantasy.
Okay. Cheers, guys. Yep. You can now accept the next job, the next class job quest. Oh wait, does that just mean that I've cleared enough of the story that I can move on now? I don't know.
Join us next week when we explore the Final Fantasy game that needs no introduction. It was the first use of full motion video, a spectacular shift into the third dimension, and one of the most intense role-playing settings.
Okay, I don't really need that. My appearance is awesome. Raban has some parting words for you ahead of the final phase of Operation Archon.
Development for the seventh Final Fantasy began in 1995, 1 year after the release of 6. Square had been experimenting.
Okay, speak with Sid. Where's Old City Boy?
And the demo of SIGGRAPH showed Square could shift its style forward in dimension. It just didn't reveal how.
It's really in processing plan. Okay. Yeah, let's just get this thing going.
Looking at its finances,
Take this opportunity to make a cigarette.
Square was forced to make decisions for business. Saying goodbye to their strength, and Nintendo, which had provided 2 generations of hardware for Square to revive itself with. The company announced on January 12, 1996, the series would continue exclusively on the Sony PlayStation. Square wouldn't release another game for a Nintendo console until Crystal Chronicles for the GameCube 7 years later.
I don't know, some guy on YouTube told me to stop wasting my time drawing on Garland and go for Alma Detalion. Good tip, because I would have kept drawing for Garland.
Due to its extraordinary goals, the game's release date was pushed back almost a full year. On a new console with new technology and a concept that was a far cry from the games that spanned Thrones of Life. Square wasn't too far from where
Alright, I think I'm going to end the stream here. I kind of got a BRB bio and such. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I didn't embarrass myself too much by almost getting killed a few times. Anyway, it's been fun, and peace out. Later.